What would you do if there were zombies right in your neighborhood? Would you maybe head to the closest supermarket you usually shop at, check out the old police station where your uncle used to work for some guns, or even consider hitting up that pharmacy run by the grumpy lady who always gave you the creeps? Well, that's pretty much the deal with Infection Free Zone. Infection Free Zone will let you reclaim your own town after the zombie apocalypse. It's zombie survival, but you can use map data imported from the real world. Infection Free Zone will let you establish and play your zombie survival game in your hometown or wherever you want in the world. Taking charge of your survivor groups, you'll be able to form them into squads and work crews to start rebuilding civilization under your banner. At first, that means a few things, like going house to house scavenging for supplies with your armed units while your civilians scuttle around for building materials. Later phases of the game promise to let you build walls, factories, science labs, and more. Your armed units, which you have a limited number of based entirely on how many guns and ammo you've scavenged, scour the city during the day while infected sleep inside buildings. Their job is to find food, supplies, medicine, guns, and ammunition. Your other civilians gather wood, metal, and bricks to construct walls and repurpose on-map buildings for your own purposes. The day and night cycle in Infection Free Zone is really important. During the day, your workers do their tasks, and at night, they hide in our headquarters or specially converted safe houses. Same goes for your squads, these little teams of 4 that you move around the city during the day to find supplies. Squads also fight for you with 4 individual weapons and a shared ammo pool. When that pool's empty, they switch to melee weapons. The day and night cycle went by pretty fast compared to what your squads could do in a day. Infection Free Zone is an intriguing mix of city building and survival strategy. You are busy setting up our home base, repurposing buildings, and putting up defenses. The whole repurposing thing is a bit different from the usual city builders. Instead of just plopping down new buildings wherever you want, you've got to work with what's already there. It adds a layer of strategy, especially when it comes to defending the base. Some buildings like defense towers you can place wherever you like. Besides the tough battles, there are other things that make the game realistic. For example, having a car is necessary in this world. You can use it to gather resources, get around faster, and run over enemies. When you send a squad in a car to a house, they get out, collect stuff, and stash it in the car. Same thing when they come back to base, and it all happens smoothly with minimal clicking, which is great. But you've got to be careful with the car because you'll run out of fuel and it might need repairs. Still, having a car can be the difference between survival and getting wiped out in Infection Free Zone. As you progress further into the apocalypse, you'll run out of scavengeable food and need to take over green space to plant your own. That means finding parks and the like to use as agricultural areas, hopefully near your own now-walled compound that's hopefully complete with watchtowers and armed guards. Setting up defenses is all about line of sight, with tall buildings providing more or less depending on their story count. The strategy and gameplay of this new zombie survival game so far isn't spectacularly deep, but the maps are really compelling just by being based on real-world locations with their own requirements and challenges. What makes this game super cool is not just how tough it can get, but also the fact that it uses real geographic data from OpenStreetMap. You can explore neighborhoods you know or discover new cities. In the full game, the devs promise over 40 buildings, different types of infected research missions, 10 types of vehicles with upgrades, more weapons, and 30 kinds of events.